Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Dre the Bread Talker, and I'm incredibly excited to be sharing some information with you today on how to utilize the TradeLocker web trader. Now, TradeLocker is a platform that we all use as traders to execute trades, and what we say is the Forex charts. You can't trade futures on it. You can't trade binary options or stock options on it. But again, there's so many different assets that you can or allowed to trade in. You can trade stocks depending on the type of broker that you're using. You can trade commodities, you can trade indices, markets, you can trade different metals and things of that nature. We'll cover that in a little bit. Again, depending on the type of broker that you're using, is going to determine the types of asset or how many types of assets that you can utilize. We'll talk about that a little bit. Again, so what you want to do before we do get this video started, be sure to like, share, and make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that we can provide you with more valuable information. And do not forget to make a comment. Leave comments. Myself or my team will make sure that we answer you whatever your questions or needs may be in the questions and comment sections. Okay, so listen. Grab a pen and pad, take some notes, a lot of information we want to cover. If you happen from the time of this video's creation, of course, there's going to be newer and more updates. So you can either go to the TradeLocker YouTube channel. Make sure that when you do, make sure you go to TradeLocker and you see the icon and you see the logo. Excuse me. Make sure that, or you can go to the TradeLocker.com website and see on the updates. They do have a Discord channel that you can join for free and stay up to date. Make sure that you stay up to date. One of the beautiful things I do love about TradeLocker of many is that they're always doing updates. There's always an update to apply. They're always giving you notifications. Definitely at the end of the week, there's maintenance updates and whatever applications they need to make. They're getting it done. So what that tells me about that they have an infrastructure, they have a backbone, and they have the resources to make sure that we get all the updated information. So love it. Great tool, great resource. And what you're going to see about TradeLocker, it also resembles TradingView, which is TradeLocker is charted by TradingView, which means TradingView is like a backbone of what TradeLocker is. It doesn't provide all of the variable things that TradingView does, but it is very robust. It is new, newer than other web traders. So let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. What you want to do is, right, whether you're on your mobile device, you can go to your app store and download the TradeLocker application. Make sure you have this logo. Look for this, TradeLocker.com. Or you can go to the TradeLocker website, right? Go to the TradeLocker.com website, like I said earlier, and make sure you select all if this notification appears. And it doesn't matter what web browser you're utilizing. If you scroll down to the very, very bottom, there's an area down here that says, hold on, let me get rid of that. Right here, you got what it says, download for desktop, or you got trade on TradeLocker web trader, or you got the download in the app store. So you can do it on your desktop of your PC or the desktop of your Mac. I will say this about Mac. Make sure that you do have an updated version on your Mac and it's, up to date and current. What I have noticed that some people will attempt to download the app, but of course it'll get rejected. So it still doesn't stop you from accessing it, the TradeLocker web trader, but it is better to utilize the application because it's less resources being utilized. When you have a web browser like Chrome, Safari, Mozilla, Microsoft Edge, whatever web browser you like utilizing, if you have a lot of tabs up, sometimes it can become again resource hog, and meaning that it slows down the processing of how information is transferred and back and forth onto the platform. So utilizing the application is definitely more helpful. Or if you can't download the app on your computer and you're utilizing a web browser, my suggestion is, one, make sure that you got good Wi-Fi. Make sure you got good internet connection overall, whether it's through Ethernet, if it's through Ethernet. Also, don't have so many things up running at the same time. Make sure that your computer is up to date with security updates and whatnot. So just make sure you stay keeping your system clean, free, and running smooth so that you can get the accurate information ASAP. Okay, so that's how you can get the app. Go into the web browser or joining their account. You come down there again. Like I said, you click on download for, let's say, download for desktop. I am on a Windows. Select download the app, upload it. Boom. There should be no problem after that. Once you do have access to TradeLocker, it's going to give you two options up here, right? You got login with broker prop, and then you got login with TradeLocker profile. Preferably login with TradeLocker profile. The old way was you get access to your broker. Access to your broker. Once you create your demo account and your live account, make sure with your live account, make sure that you complete your KYC identification or verification. You may need to submit a driver's ID or some form of ID and proof of address. Once you're clear on those things, you can create your live account. This will allow you to fund your account with your own personal funds and put you in position to make some money. Either way, whether you have a demo or live account, you can connect your account. So if you have your account created, check your email, right? Once you do, and it's going to provide you with, of course, you have your email, but it's going to provide you with a unique password. Typically, it's not one that you may have created. It's one that normally that they generate for you. So you're going to make sure that you have access to that email and that particular subject in there. Make sure you're taking a look, copy and paste whatever the server name is for your broker. Make sure you put that in and then select login. Now, doing it this way, I'm gonna pause. Don't do this right now. Doing it this way will singularly allow you to add your accounts. Meaning, if you have more than one broker account, more than one, you can only add one at a time. So my suggestion is to use login with TradeLocker profile. Now, this is going to allow you to just create a regular TradeLocker profile as if it was like a demo account for yourself. And this is great because what it's going to allow you to do is you can utilize the platform and have somebody download it, and you can share how it is that you can trade on this platform, right? Without having an actual real broker. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like shortly. So log in with TradeLocker profile. I'm gonna continue with Google because that's what I have, or you can continue with your Apple or iCloud account. I'm gonna continue with Google. Log on break toward investors. Go ahead and log in. Continue. Once you do that, it'll allow you to log in. It may ask you, because I already created my account, there's two symbols that'll pop up, right? There's two symbols that'll pop up. Make sure that you turn both options on and then create the account, right? And then it should come to this page that you see right here. Go ahead and select accept, right? It may generate this. It says what's new. And this is whatever updates TradeLocker may have added new, and it'll show you step by step on how to add. And you come down here, you got this little arrow, and then it'll allow you to know all the updates that have happened. Okay, but close that. You don't need that. If you're on a desktop, right? If you're on a desktop, I want you to take a look down in the lower lower left corner. You're going to see where it says demo. And then it's going to show the symbol of the broker that you're utilizing. Now, I don't want it on this broker. For yourselves, if this is the first time you're creating this account, right, yours will come down here, right? I'm switching off to a different account. Second here, we're logging in. this is a demo account. So you'll know because a couple of things are stand out. So yeah, once you gain access to this account, you'll take note in the lower left corner, you'll see demo, and it'll show you the TradeLocker icon, signifying the type of broker that is being utilized. Also take note of the balance on the account. Like here, it says $100,000. Well, mine's is a little bit over. I've been practicing with it, right? But it'll be $100,000 demo account. Now, you can use this. This is just for demo. This is just for show. So anybody that, you know, maybe they don't know how to use TradeLocker, or maybe you want to show somebody how to use TradeLocker, you can use this as that, right? It does not have access to all of the brokers, or excuse me, all of the different various assets that are available. But even though that there are quite a few, you can do a lot of practicing on how to execute a sell or execute a buy, or give you a better understanding of what this lot size and all of this means. So I'm going to be showing you that, what that looks like shortly. Actually, I'll keep it here. I'll keep it here. We'll use this as a, we'll use this one. I do have very different demo accounts that I can use, but I'll use this one. So let's go ahead here, right? So when you first come into TradeLocker, if you're, whether you're on a web browser or utilizing the app, yours may come in and it looks something like this, right? You got these grid lines, your candlesticks are red and green. You may have this indicator down here. This is an indicator. This is a volume indicator. I can show you how to turn that off or on, or maybe even adjust it if need be. We'll cover that shortly. Also here, what you'll also notice, this area over here, this is your markets panel, and your market panel allows you to see all the various types of assets, news. You'll see that information. What is the full name of the asset? What times are they available? Because not all assets are, of course, the same, right? They don't operate on the same time spectrum, right? We'll talk about the market panel shortly. This right here area is the order panel. You could identify because you'll see sell and you'll see buy as an option. You'll see a lot size in this area. Lot size, it would normally be at 0.01. And then right here where it says initial margin, think of this as your risk management. How much money can you withstand losing before a trade is closed? And this number right here in parentheses is the percentage, right? We'll cover risk management a little bit too, but I always say is don't, remember I said this with regard to risk management, it's not as important as how much money you're preparing to lose, but what is the percentage, right? Typically 1 to 3%, 1 to 3% is, you know, more responsible for any trader, right? Can you do more? Of course. But like I always tell my team, just because you could don't mean you should. So knowing risk management is going to be important. I also tell them this, there's 3 things that's going to be important for a trader. 3 things. One is going to be discipline. Discipline. You're going to need discipline on your journey. And what you'll come to find out as traders, you can develop the gambling spirit real fast, or you can increase your gambling spirit. So you're going to need discipline with regard to trading, because you could do it at any time. Pretty much you could trade at any time, 24/7 or 24/5, depending on the markets that you're trading in. So we talked about discipline. Next, the next thing that's very important is understanding the importance of education. If you're not properly educated or you don't know what you're doing, you can easily by mistake make money, but more than likely you're going to fail and lose a lot of money. So you're going to need to have education and discipline and a lot of practice time so that you can be an effective and efficient trader on your journey, right? Always looking for proper setups. And last but not least, the third one is risk management. So often many traders fail because they don't utilize proper risk management. They over leverage or risk too much money on a particular trade, and they go for the gold, they go for the throat. And when that market, when and if that market pulls back, or if they're in too many trades at the same time, right, you're doomed. You're setting yourself up for failure. So you're going to want to make sure also that you have a mentor on this journey, right? So with regard to education and discipline, that's where a mentor comes in. With regard to risk management, that's where a mentor comes in. You should have a mentor, right? So let's go a little bit further. Down here in this area, we talked about buy, sell in the order panel. Also, you can in the upper left corner or upper right corner, you're going to see an up arrow. If you choose it, it's going to allow you to choose between market and pending. Market just means market execution, and then you got pending to create a pending order, buy, sell, and all this other information. We'll talk about that shortly too. And last but not least, down here in this area, this is your order panel and your trade panel. In your trade panel, you got positions, pending, closed positions, your order history. So positions just refers to active trades. So if you have any active trades, meaning trades that are in motion right now, right at that moment, you'll see all of the activity there. If you have a pending order, it'll be on, just waiting to activate. The market has to reach whatever market you're trading in or asset you're trading in, it has to reach a specific price entry in order to activate. And if you've set your stop loss or your take profit, that'll determine when you get in and out of a trade, unless you manually take yourself out of the trade. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. So, and then your close position. So if you ever executed any trades, right, you'll see that history here. As you can see, I did one trade before and it made P&L. P&L means profit and loss. So if you see profit and loss, that's how much profit you made. Think of that as your gross. And then you got net P&L. Net P&L. So if you have any fees or incur any swap fees, like fees as far as commissions from that broker, from that asset, it'll be reflect. This is your overall take home, and all the fees and all that will be calculated from your regular P&L. Think of that as your gross versus your net pay, for those who understand receiving a paycheck, right? So we'll cover a little bit more about the information in here too as well. So this is going to be a great resource. So if you are on a laptop and you're utilizing a web browser, go up into the web browsers area, and this, which will allow you to what we're getting ready to change the zoom settings. So depending on the web browser that you use, this one in particular, I'm using Microsoft Edge. Choose the three dots and you'll see an area that says zoom or web zoom or whatever it may be. Either way, it'll be at 100%. So you're going to take it from 100%, right? And you could drop it down to either 90, drop it down to 90 or drop it down to 80, right? You could drop it down to 90 or drop it down to 80. And this will change the configuration of your screen, giving you a better look at it. And this is normally typically if you're on a laptop, right? So I'm gonna put mine back to 100 because I'm on a desktop, right? Also, if you want to adjust the zoom to the far left, you have this plus and this minus magnifying glass area. This will allow you to zoom in and zoom out, zoom in and zoom out, and adjust your screen. A third way that you can adjust your screen, in between the chart section and the trade panel, there's this little area right here. If you move your mouse on it, it'll light up. It'll either turn white if you move your mouse on it, or for this particular broker, it's black. But you left click on it, turns white, drag it down, right? You can drag it down, as you can see, more of the screen. You don't have to drag it down all the way, but you can if need be, right? So I'm gonna leave it just about right there. Also, if this, I'm not seeing enough of the chart, you can go by where the market panel as well as the order panel is and the chart, and in between there, just like down here, move your mouse right here in the center area. It's going to highlight, left click, it's going to turn white or blue, and you can drag it. Excuse me, let me grab this here. It's not allowing me to do it. You should be able to drag it from left to right, left to right. There we go, left to right. If I bring it all the way over to the right, I see more of the screen. The more I bring it in, it allows me to see less of the chart itself. So also take notice on the market panel, right? Like I said before, you see the description. So if you're unsure of the asset's name for my newer traders, like it says EURUSD, into the far right area under description, it gives you the description. So Highly recommend that you make sure that you stay educated so you can understand the importance of bid and ask, and understand what the significance of a spread or initial margin, leverage, all those things depending on your broker, day highs and day lows in the market of that time frame right here. Also inside of the market panel, if you left click or if you right click on it, or what is it, left click on here? For some of them, you can be able to left click, right click, or select the three dots like you see over here. Each broker does something a little bit different. You just got to be able to identify so you can see more options. I can open instrument or open asset. It'll take me directly to that asset, or I can select view details to see more information about the asset like you see here, right? Lot size, all of this information, and different fees, right? Three dots again, add to favorite. So if you want one of these as your favorite, just select that. If you don't want any longer, select the dots here or right click on the asset and you can select remove from asset. Add or remove right there, and instrument news. Whatever news may be available, you'll find that information here. Okay. But I'm going to drag this back over. And again, all markets, all assets does something a little bit different. I suggest create your favorites, right? Create whatever your, as you grow along, or what your community may be utilizing mostly, so that you become more familiar, develop, find 1 to maybe 3 assets that you get real comfortable with, and learn how to make money in that market, right? All assets don't operate the same, right? Just like a relationship, you get a new boo, new boyfriend, new girlfriend, new wife, right? Oh, from an old wife, right? It's a little they all act a little different. That's just the same thing with assets too as well, or these instruments that you see over here. So I'm gonna leave this over here. I don't want it too bunched up. We'll get back in here. So I covered a little bit about the trade panel. You can create alerts. If you don't have any alerts, you know, you got to of course, have your account connected. We'll take care of that later. But if I wanted to create an alert with TradeLocker, move your asset in this area right here. This is called your price action. This allows you to see the different prices of where the market may be. You'll see the ask and bid here. This is like you see here. You see this red and this blue. You hit the three, you move your mouse over just a little bit from where the price action is, and then you'll see like this circle with this cross in it. If you left click on it, it gives you alert, pending, SL for stop loss, TP for take profit. And then I can easily click on alert and then set an alert. I'm not going to be able to do that here right now. We'll switch off to another broker so you can see more information, but I'm going to also show you the value of utilizing the TradeLocker profile. And then we'll switch off to a broker's, and you can see a little bit, you'll see a little difference in it. Also, to the far left, like where the zoom in and zoom out is, you'll see an area here, not so much spaces. I'm not going to focus on that, but where it says panel. As I move my mouse down on here, you'll see it turns into, the first one is your market panel. Looking over to the right, you see it highlighted. If I left click on it, guess what? The market panel disappears. I bring it back up. So beautiful thing about TradeLocker, it's like 2 to 3 ways to do one thing, right? Because remember, if I move my mouse over here, I can drag it from side to side, make it disappear, right? Just like I just did a few seconds ago. Move my mouse over to the left side where panels is, make it disappear, bring it back. Also, right underneath markets panel, you have the order panel. As you see, it's highlighted over there. Left click on it, make it disappear. Left click on it again, it reappears. When I make the market panel disappear, I can see the order panel available. Click it, make it go away, okay? And then last but not least, the last one down here is your trades panel, and you'll see it highlighted, make it disappear, bring it back. So that's the way you adjust a few things. This is how you navigate on the TradeLocker a little bit. Next, in the far right, also in the upper right area, excuse me, upper left area, you'll see the TradeLocker icon. That's not going to be as important, but if you come further down, you'll see this question mark. So if you got any feedbacks or questions, you can left click on there, get help. It should take you to the Discord, your guide on how to utilize TradeLocker, and join the Discord channel. Underneath that question mark is your network status. It should be green. If it is red, you're dead, right? No network, right? No network connectivity. If it's orange, that means there's some instability in your network. So make sure you're checking your Wi-Fi and your Ethernet connection. Make sure your bill is paid. Make sure your computer is up to date with its security updates and all that it needs, just to make sure that, again, you got strong, good connectivity. That's going to be extremely important. Settings is the next one under here. If you click on settings, you can see trade on charts. If you left click on it, show up to 100 of the last trades or how many trades you want. Invert margins. You'll see all the various types of brokers that you may have access to, like I do right now. So I got Genesis, GoFundMe, my prop firm, Hero FX is another one. And I got the TradeLocker demo. Add an account. If I want to log out, you'll click on that down here. So all your information is right here for you to get used to. All right. Let's go ahead and identification. So on the left side of the screen, coming from the top up here, at the top to the left, you'll see where it says 5M. This is your 5-minute time frame. So when you think of time frame, what time frame is each of these candles in? Right now, as we see it, it is what? 5-minute candles. All of these candles are 5 minutes. So if I click on this, it'll show me what? All of the different time frames. So if you want to make any of these your favorites, you'll just click on to which ones you want is your favorite, right? And then if you hit this drop down arrow, it'll allow you to see more. So I'm gonna just pick a few of them, a few of my favorite ones, right? These are about my, no, not that one. Pick something in here, right? 5 minutes. Okay, cool. Let's do that. All right, so choose which one you want as your favorite. Right next to the chart, the time frame over here, you have the bar style, the candles. So if you left click on it, it'll allow you to see the different types of bar styles that are available. I'm going to utilize candles. I'm going to add that one to my favorite. Also, I'm going to add Akanashi. It's my favorite. Now, if you have some others, as you grow along, you can always come back in here and make that change. And now, this is bar styles, right? Next to there, you have this little FX, but it's really the function signal or symbol. And these are just your indicators. So this is your indicators and strategies. So whatever indicators you like, you click on here and you'll search whatever that indicator is. Now, remember what I said earlier. TradeLocker is charted by TradeLocker. If you come down here, you'll see this little circle here and you move your mouse on it and it says charted by TradingView, right? So some of the asset, it does have limited amount of indicators that are available. So if for my community, whatever educators are on the platform, you'll see them trading or mapping out their trades, creating different market structures or identifying market structure. Normally they're utilizing the TradingView platform and they're using different indicators that may not be available in TradeLocker, right? And that's fine. So get in the habit of utilizing TradingView, right? Get in the habit of utilizing TradingView. I know when I first started off, all I was doing was making my charts from from TradeLocker, right? Sometimes I get those two mixed up, from TradeLocker. But you know, eventually I learned how to use both of them more effectively and efficiently, right? To become a little bit more successful, right? So we're done with that part right there. As you roll on, there's some other features that may not be available inside of the demo version of TradeLocker. This is why you're going to need an absolute broker. This is just, you know, just for practice. So we just identified a few things here. If you come over to the if you want to, you know, go back on anything, go forward, you got that here. If you want to see your different chart layouts over here, you'll see this little square box right here. If you click onto it, TradeLocker allows you to switch up your screen. So if you want to split your screen, you want to split it in 3s, split it in 4s, and so forth and so on, you can do that here, and you got your sync in layout. So I would recommend practicing with this, utilizing this, and this is great. I do split screens. Split screens are great because maybe I want to be in 2 separate time frames on the same asset, right? So I'm in 5 minute here and I got 5 minutes over here. But what if I want to be in 5 minutes for my entry, and maybe I want to, watch the 1 hour time frame on the same asset here, which is EUR USD, that's Euro USD, right? And I can do that here, right? So we got that option here. Or if you want to be in a different asset, so I'm gonna pick ADA USD, right? Not worrying about the name of the asset so much, but I could be in different markets, different time frames, all the while this main one still stays the same. So it's a great tool, great resource for you if you maybe you're advanced as a trader, and then I can utilize 4 different charts at the same time, right? So great tool. If I got it all set up, I'll drag that over here. Now I can see more of my chart, and whichever asset that I want to execute the trade in, I'll just click on that. And you can see in the order panel, I clicked on this box right here for EUR USD. It's identified here, EUR USD. I clicked on over here. Guess what? The order panel identifies the asset in which I'm seeking to trade, right? And I can just change it all up, okay? Practice, practice, practice. If this is new, don't be intimidated by this stuff at all. If I could teach myself how to do it, so can you. Close that. Let's bring that back here for a second. With your TradeLocker too, so we identified everything here at the top, unnamed, so you can name your asset. You can manage your different layouts. Give it a name once you make whatever configurations you want. And this picture symbol over here, this one right here, that allow you to take a snapshot. Now I want to identify something here. When you first come to the chart of TradeLocker, it'll give you the ability to left click on the screen, and you can move it from side to side, but you can't move it up and down. So even if you have your finger on the screen, it won't allow you to do it. What you're going to need to do, come on over to the price action area, just click on it and scroll up, scroll down, scroll up, scroll down, or scroll up, whatever, once, whatever. Now you can left click on the screen, and you can see now I can drag it up, down, left, right, diagonally. I can do all of those things, whereas I could not do that before. So make sure, in order to better navigate your screen, make sure that you come on over to the price action and just scroll up, scroll down. With that being said, make sure that you have a mouse pad. It's easier to utilize the TradeLocker platform when you're utilizing the mouse. Trackpad, sometimes it can be a little difficult, a little annoying, tedious. And again, it's all about speed on execution when utilizing this tool and resource. Come back over to the left. We'll talk about more in this chart in a second. To the left side, again, you have all of your tools here, right? Your magnifying glass, stuff like that. I do recommend leave that magnet on. That's great. So when you're utilizing a magnet and you got something like, say, this trend line right here, right? And if you move your mouse over just a little bit, you'll see a little arrow over there and allow you to see the different trend line tools, the different tools that are available, whether it's your horizontal ray, your horizontal line, your vertical line, your parallel symbol, with your pitchfork, whatever your strategy calls for. So let me do trend line real quick and show you the value of having this magnet on. So I'm gonna leave it off for right now, but I'm gonna use it. I got my trend line right here. And say I want to go to the top, and I'm looking at this wick sticking out of this candle, right? I want to get it close. If I want proximity, it might not work, right? So I'm gonna drag it down to a low area, and I'm gonna left click. I think that's I'm eyeballing it now, right? But if I look closer, right? If I want accuracy, it's not showing me that. Let me use another symbol. Excuse me. Let me use another tool. Let me use horizontal ray. All right. So I'm gonna use horizontal ray. I don't have the magnet on, so I have it off right now. I want to get the very bottom of this candle right here. Right. That looks right. Looks about right. Let's do another one. So I identified the lower wick, and this looks like the bottom of the candle, right? So that's not accurate though, right? Is it? This trend line here, I wanted the very bottom of the wick, but it's not accurate. I wanted the very bottom of this candle. But when I come on over to the price action and I scroll up, I notice that here, my line is completely off. So let me show you the difference let me show you the difference when you got the magnet on, because it snaps right to the, get rid of that. Actually, let me leave that. I'm gonna leave that so you can see the difference. And I'm gonna turn the magnet on and use my horizontal ray. I want the bottom. So as I move, it kind of snaps directly there. Boom. And we're gonna identify it. I'm gonna make that one white. And then as you can see the difference, right? This one I eyeballed, this one I used the magnet. Let's do that again. Horizontal line, or horizontal ray, excuse me, and the bottom of the body of the candle. Significant difference, y'all. That could be the difference between you making money and not, right? It's almost accurate, the numbers there, but that's what you want. You want accuracy, right? Come over here. I know the numbers look the same, but it's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. Numbers look almost the same, but it's not the same. Almost only counts in what? They say horseshoes. Let me show you another thing. All right, one more time. Use trend line. Here we go. Snap it here. Snap the bottom. Stop it there for a second. I'm going to change the color to white. There we go. Come back to the tip of that. I'm going to draw it to the line. Now let's see the accuracy of that magnet. And it's on the weak magnet too, by the way. I'll move my mouse over by the umbrella. by the magnet. Select that little arrow right there. And then you got weak magnet. Strong magnet. You can leave it on weak. And I snap to indicators like that. Leave that on. All right, and you'll see the difference. Now, the same thing that you doing here, you can also do inside of Trading View too as well. But you see what the white line did, right? Snap directly to where I needed it to go to. Great tool. So I'm gonna delete those. Delete those. Delete. Go ahead and put it all back. Taking it all back. There we go. All right, cool. All right, here we go. All right, so we're back on the chart. Still got my ability to move up and down. All right. So those are the different, I'm not going to cover all of these, but I will say here, if you want the rectangular box that you see sometimes on the screen, by this area, you see where this brush is, click on that, and then it's going to show you rectangle. This way you can create your rectangle if ever you need to set a zone or anything like that, or you want to identify a specific area, maybe a fair value gap, and you can utilize that tool too as well. So we don't need that. All right, just wanted to identify those things from the instruments on the side over here. You got if you scroll down a little bit here in that area, you'll see a trash can. And in that trash can, you can remove all drawings, the indicators, or drawing and indicators. Okay. You can also lock your screen. So scroll down here. All right, cool. Now, more to out of again, identify this as price action. You can either right click on the price action and this box will appear, right? Or you can select this little icon down here at the bottom, right above where it says auto. It says log. You got a percentage, log, and auto right up above it. You have this hexagon icon here. And what I like for you to do is go to labels. Inside labels, you'll see some options in here. Now I'm going to show you exactly which ones I need you to click on, but I just want to show you that. And for more settings, right? For some of you down here, right? This is area right here that's called time zone. Do not confuse this with time frame. Time frame identifies the time frame for each candle that was created, whether it was a 5-minute candle, 15-minute candle, hour candles that were created. As you can see, it changes the structure of the candle each time when you do that. Okay. If you select your time zone, and you maybe depending on where you're at in the world, make sure you're in the right time zone. You could do exchange. Me, I'm UTC -4 because I'm in the New York time zone. I'm on the East Coast, right? And all of that's fine. If you do not like military time, if you don't like military time, my suggestion is you come over to that little settings wheel or right click on the price action. Go to more settings. Go to more settings, and you can do this on your mobile device too as well. Go to more settings, scroll down in the chart settings right here, and then you'll see an area that says right here, date format and time hour format. You can change it from 24-hour to 12-hour, whichever you prefer. Okay. I'm done with that. Next, we're going to go over to here to the candles. If you double click on the candles, you can either double click on the candles and then chart setting will appear again, just like it did earlier. Or in this area, the asset that you're using, this one is USD, excuse me, EUR USD, and it says 1 hour for the 1 hour time frame. And the broker that is being utilized is a regular Forex broker, the forex.com broker. Right now, next to there is 3 dots, right? And if you move your mouse on it, you barely see it because it's green right there. But you'll see there's 3 dots there, and it says more. If I click on that and I choose settings, you'll see the chart setting appear. So there's 2 ways to 3 ways to do one thing once again on the TradeLocker platform. Either way, for right now, I need the chart settings up right now. And I want to identify something. This area right here, you'll see the body, the border, and the wicks. I'm going to left click to remove each of them, right? So if I just want the body of the candle, that's your body, right? The completion of the candle, the full body of the candle. The border is the outer shell of it, right? And then you got the wicks, the things that stick on it, out on the top or the bottom. That's identifies how far the market is going, whether it's in a buy or a sell, up or down, right? But when I put them all together, that's what it looks like. Now, you'll see this color coding, right? What's important, you got the left side representing the buy side that you see right here, and the right side representing sell. The color, as I tell my team, is not as important as the knowing the difference between what's on the right side and the left side. And again, the right side represents the sell, right? The left side represents the buy. So I'm going to change the colors of my buy for my regular candles. Left click on whichever one. I'm changing the wick to blue, the border to blue, and the body to blue, right? And again, the color, again, is not important. It's about aesthetics for you. Aesthetics for you. The aesthetics for you. Just know that when you switch those colors, you better know the difference between what and what, all right? Coming over to the left inside the settings, go to canvas, and inside of canvas, you'll see a couple things, 3 things that are important, at least for myself. For yourself, it may be more or less. Right here, background, solid. So right now it's all black, but if I click on where it says solid for background, I can change it from black to white, to yellow, to green, to bluish, and whatever other colors I like. I'm going to leave mine on black because that's what I like it on. Better for my eyes. So adjust it for your aesthetics. If I click into the box for solid, I got gradient. And gradient allows me to two-tone it, right? So maybe I want it black and let's do black and gray, or black and yellow, or white and yellow, right? It's all about the aesthetics for you. I'm going to leave it on solid because that's what I wanted. The next one that's important to me is grid lines. Grid lines. Some of you may like the horizontal and vertical lines. I do not. So I can click on here and go to none. All right. Or, that's what I like. All right. I like it a little more naked. So I can see exactly what's going on without my eyes being too confused. So I put my grid lines on off. Next is watermark. You click on the box for watermark right now. The watermark, you don't see anything right now. When I bring it in here, and I'm going to click on ticker, interval, description, right? Ticker, interval, and description. And this is what it'll show me, all this information. For me, all of that's not important. I'm going to get rid of the ticker. I don't want ticker. I want interval and description. I don't need to change the color. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, I do need description. Sorry about that. Go back to canvas, watermark. Why is my ticker looking like that? Why does my ticker look like that? I think it's like that on this broker. When I switch off my different broker, it comes out a little bit different. And it shouldn't be showing me all of that. Description. No, I don't want all of that. Yeah, I don't want all of that. That's not the way I like it. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you a better view of that in a little bit. We're going to switch off. Yep, but that's how you switch those around. So I'm going to switch off to a different broker. I don't like that view. So remember what I said. You want to switch off to your broker, lower left corner. Or if you're on a mobile device, you'll see a letter D. It'll be a purple D color or blue L if it's a live account. And then you'll see the symbol for the broker that you're utilizing. I'm going to change it to this broker here. A lot of information. I hope you're enjoying. Hope you're taking some notes, paying attention. Again, this is going to be important for your journey. There's going to be newer things that you're going to find out. So keep practicing and utilizing it. So I'm in my other broker account. How can I tell? If y'all remember in the chat or down in the comments, what did we identify? Right? Lower left corner, demo. Identify the broker. I'll see the icon or the symbol from the broker that I'm utilizing. And most importantly, the balance. It's the difference, right? Between $100,000 account and this demo $17,000 plus dollar account. Right? See that information here. So I'm going to drop this down a little bit. Drop down the trade panel. I want to see things a little bit clearer. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit, right? I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Get rid of that symbol right there. Don't need that. Let's go ahead and add a few things, right? There's a couple more things. I got way more assets available in my market panel. I click on where it says all. Oh, I didn't even bring this up earlier. Leave it on all, y'all. Leave it on all. And if you have any favorites, of course, if you see the asset and you see this blue a star on it, that means I identify it as my favorites. And if I want to switch to see nothing but my favorites, in the markets panel, you'll see the star symbol right here. And then I have a few of assets that I like to trade. Some of them I don't even trade, but I got them here. So, you know, I just want to, sometimes I want to practice with a few. And I did say something about news, right? This little icon here, these two, allow me to switch between the asset itself and the different newses, whether it's news for that particular asset, or I can click on the drop down arrow and change to whatever asset I have, like the ones I have here, my favorites, or click on favorites here, see news here, or see all news. Put that back over here. I'm going to go to chart setting real quick. Y'all remember how we went to chart setting, right? Double click on the candle, or you can select this little 3 dots up here at the top, right? 3 dots at the top. Color bar has been, all of that's right. Actually, I want to change that. I don't like green. I like mine to be blue. Change my aesthetics. Blue and blue. All right, that's my buys. This is my sells. Right side is my sell. Left side is my buy. Okay. I'll go to canvas and watermark. Okay, let's get rid of this. Remember I said my grid lines, I like my grid lines off. So I'll leave it at none. Click on the watermark. And now I got ticker, interval, description. So now on this broker, not the TradeLocker. On TradeLocker is a little different. Now I see my I can identify the asset I'm trading, and this number 1 represents the time frame in which I'm trading in, which is the 1 minute time frame. And I'm done. I don't change the colors of anything. I don't need to. For yourself, I would recommend, playing with it. You can practice with it, And I got my regular candles up, so I want to make some adjustments up here like I did earlier. So I got a 1 minute time frame just showing. I'm gonna left click on it. 1 minute is my favorite. I like 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, and I like 1 day. Okay, which is the daily. And then I'm gonna come over to bar style. I just have candles showing. The difference between candles, right, and Hikanashi, which I like to use. Candles is giving me real time exactly what's going on with the market. Sometimes that can be a little busy, right? Too busy for me. So what I like is Hikanashi because it's not I can operate in this. I got the definitives in my moves. Yeah, I know if it's really consolidating. I got a better idea that it's consolidating, or if it is a trend in the market, whether it's for a buy or for a sell, like you see on this nice one right here. Oh man, that was good. All right. So now it looks nice, right? Cleaned up nice. All right, so let me make sure a couple things are set inside of here. Oh yeah, remember I said if you right click on the price action or you left click on the settings icon for it and then go to labels, these are the 5 options that I was talking about that you want to save for yourself, right? No overlapping, count down the bar close. Count down the bar close gives you the time in which the market will but when the next candle will appear. I'm going to show you that in a second. And no overlapping allows this all to be, easier to see, right? Instead of being all bunched up. Okay. Once. Yep. Nothing but value. So yeah. What we're going to do, focus in on now is we're going to move and navigate. I'm going to focus on, yes, taking the trade. We already identified quite a few things in here. I do need to make a few changes on this screen real quick. I'm going to change my time frame. I'm going to change it to the 5 minute time frame. Change it to the 5 minute time frame. I'm scroll. Remember what I said? I get to move around because I unlocked it over here. And I did speak about the countdown, the bar close. As you can see right here up close, this is red right now, right? Because we're in a sale. The market is in a sale. Everything is lining up. My volume down here that automatically appears is showing me sell. If you see green down here, that just represents a buy. If I double click on it, go to style, and I can change. You see where it says fall is red, which is for a sell. Grow is green for buy. I'm going to change it to a blue. I like that much better. Aesthetics for my eyes. Go ahead and we're done with that. If I double click on my candles, remember what I said, I don't like green. And these are now the Hikanashi candles, so I got to change it. I did it for the regular candles, but I want to do it for Hikanashi too as well. And let's go ahead and select OK. Now that's saved. I got my time frame in here. You can see the countdown. So it's down at 15, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. And then once it starts again, remember I'm on a 5 minute time frame. So that means it's going to, once it hits 0, 0, 0, 0, it's going to go back to 5 minutes, and the countdown begins and a new candle appeared. Okay. This is a continuation for a sell in a 5 minute time frame. If I go to another time frame, let's say 15 minute time frame, we see we have 4 minutes and counting left, right, of a 15 minute candle. So how many 5 minute candles fits inside a 15 minute candle? Yes, that's correctly. The answer is 3. So 3 5 minute candles makes up this 15 minute candle, so forth and so on, right? And the market structure changes as you go along in the candles. Drop it down to 1 minute to 5 minute, and you'll see a difference, right? How many 1 minute candles are in a 5 minute candle? Just testing y'all. Just testing y'all. That's right. 5. 5. All right. So we got the time frame. We understand that. We understand candles. We understand how to change the different chart settings inside of your chart. How to identify this particular indicator down here, right? Which is vertical, which is called the volume. So up here, if you want to see the indicator that you're utilizing, you'll see an arrow here, and then this arrow up here says show indicator legend. This is your indicator legend. This is me hiding my money, and this is me showing my money. So if I have more indicators in here, like you see for volume, if I wanted to make, I would see that here. If I wanted to hide it, I would see this little eye symbol, right? And I click on it and make it disappear. Bring it back, disappear, bring it back, disappear, bring it back, disappear, so forth and so on. Click on indicators, and I'm gonna just click on, let's do one here. I see it's one of my favorite ones. I'm gonna do RSI. Let's do RSI. Pick an indicator. I'm gonna make it my favorite. Relative strength index, and it pops up here. And let's do another one. Let's do SMA for smooth moving average. I'm going to click on that. Right. So the more I click on, I'll have the smooth moving average, but I see it up here. I know I clicked on RSI and I don't see it down here. But if I move my mouse down here where it says RSI, I'll see the 3 dots and I can make my changes. If I want to hide it, I'll click on this icon here to hide it, and I'll bring it back. An RSI, if I double click on the lines for the RSI, if you decide to use that indicator, right, you can click on this box for smooth SMA, and that I can change the color and whatnot. But if I wanted to get rid of it, I'll select the 3 dots on it, and I can select remove, right? Same thing for up here. If I wanted to remove an indicator, click on the 3 dots, select remove. If I wanted to change something with inside of that indicator, go ahead and select settings, and you can make whatever changes needed for you if necessary. Okay. So right now, I am going to hide them all. I'm going to hide them all. I'm going to hide this one too. Matter of fact, I'm going to delete this one. Matter of fact, I'll leave it up. I'll leave it up. If I hide the indicator legend, now I don't see that word RSI down here anymore. But if I drop down that box, now it's showing me and I can make changes. I can also delete it from over here to the right. Right. So you may be using different indicators like a stochastic. Right. I might be pronouncing it wrong. That's the way I like to say it, stochastic. Or whatever. You'll see that down here. Okay. Hide that. All right, let's move along. We are going to execute a trade, right? Execute trade. We're going to focus more on what happens in the trade panel, also what happens inside of the order panel right here. And we're going to identify the asset. So I'm going to pick on a different asset, right? Matter of fact, we're going to leave it on. We're going to leave it on EJ, right? EURJPY. We're going to leave it on the 5-minute time frame. Actually, no, we're going to put it, yeah, we'll leave it on the 5-minute time frame. So all I want to do is focus on right now is this asset. So I no longer need this panel right here. So I'm going to come on over here. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to minimize it, right? And I'm going to focus on this, but I'm going to blow it up a little bit. So I'm going over to the magnifying glass and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in, right? So you can see as much as possible, right? So I'm going to focus on here, leave it on positions in my trade panel, and I'm going to focus a little bit on risk management, and then I'm going to focus on creating a trade and show you what it looks like down here. Now, depending on the asset that you're trading, right, it's going to determine what your risk management, where it says initial margin, is going to be. So looking at this, EURJPY, 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 right? That is your asset, right? Now, asset plus whatever your balance is. This one, for example, is $17,703.96, right? Asset plus the balance plus whatever your lot size is, right? Right now it is 0.01, is going to give me what my risk management is. What that means is if I execute this trade, whether for a sell or a buy, my stop loss, I can set it for $2.30, which is actually 0.01% of the total balance of my account, right? So I'm going to increase my lot size. As I said earlier, you do not want to risk any more than 1 to 3% just to stay in, just to stay safe, right? 1 to 3%. Just think of it like this. Does your money currently right now, you have it in your savings accounts or whatever you have your money, can you daily grow your account 1% per trading day or per day or per week for that matter? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no, right? Right? It's a little bit less than that, or 3%, or even 10%. Can you do that? Right? It can happen, but it may take a longer period of time. So in trading, what you want to do is, because trading for yourself, you're accelerating the growth process of your finances. You do not need to be more aggressive. You need to be a more proficient trader. Like I said earlier, you need to be a more disciplined trader. So being in the 1 to 3% time frame, or better yet, from 0 to 1%, excuse me, 0 to 3% is a beautiful number. Can you do more? Of course. Just because you could don't mean you necessarily should. It is up to you as you grow along. But I highly want to stress, do it the right way first before you learn to do anything wrong. It's like when you learned how to drive, you learned how to put your hand on the steering wheel. You did 45s or whatever the requirement is nowadays, right? You did everything the right way. You put your seatbelt on the right way. You checked your mirrors the right way. When you were taking that test, you weren't doing what you did in that test today, what you did then, right? So you did it the right way. You practiced the right way till you developed and you learned how to do a couple of other things that would probably get you a failure on a test. So do it the right way the first time. And as you grow along, you'll develop, your own style and skill set, but some fundamentals will still remain. 1 to 3% to stay safe. I said a lot to say risk management is important. So again, we got EUR USD, almost a little bit over $17,000 in this trading account, 0.01 lot size. We know that's $3.30. You don't want to lose no more than $2.30, which is actually 0.01%. As I said earlier, the dollar amount isn't as important, but the percentage is more important. If you grow your money percent, I'm increasing the lot size. You'll see. I'm going to put it at point. I'm going to put it at 0.50. 0.50, because I want you to see the significance of the risk, right? If I take this trade right now, whether a buy or sell, right? I don't want to lose no more than 100. If I lose $115.26, 25 cents, right? It's only a loss. It would only be a loss of 0.65%, which is an even 1%. I don't have to do 1%, but that's my, that's my scope, right? That's my barriers, right? I'm gonna do a sell. I'm committing a market execution. I'm getting in the trade now. Select sell. My confirmation box appears. It confirms that I am executing a sell for 0.50 lot size of a EUR JPY, and I can see the flag symbol for that country, right? At market price, which means market execution. I leave one-click trading off, right? This allows the confirmation box to appear. If I leave it on, then that means once I take a trade, I select buy or sell, I'm getting in the trade, right? No confirmation box. I like the confirmation box. I'm going to select confirm. Now I'm in the trade right now for a sell. As I executed that sell, you see a green thing appeared that said position ordered, with some other information in it. Also, you'll see this triangle appear, right? This red triangle, because I did a sell, right? For the market to go down, right? That's my goal. I don't have a stop loss or a take profit on it right now. Right now, it is just an active trade. And this open triangle means I created the trade. If I hover my mouse on it, it gives me some information. This is the sell for 0.50 lot size at the price entry of $182.44 is the market price, right, for this particular market or asset. Now, let's do it for a different price because I want you to see. I'm gonna do two other trades real quick. I'm gonna put this one next one at 7075, right? All right. So we got, actually, let's increase it. All right. So we'll stay right here. So again, getting ready to execute another trade right here. Initial margin is $175.17. Now that is 1% of the total balance of my account at this number right here, 76. Now I want you to keep all these numbers in mind because I'm going to later on switch to a different price balance in the account, and I'm going to take the trade for that same lot size amount, right? So remember the dollar amounts, $173, and the other one was a little bit less. The dollar, watch how the dollar amount remains the same, but the percentage will change. This is why percentage is more important. So I'm gonna leave it at 0.76, and I'm gonna execute another sale. Confirmation box appears. This time, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to click this one off. So going forward, when I execute my next trade, no confirmation box. So I did select confirm. Now I'm in a trade. So I got two trades going on right now. I'm gonna execute one more trade, right? Same dollar amount, right? Same lot size, except this time I'm gonna do a buy. Now keep in mind, I'm in the same 5-minute time frame, and I got two of these triangles that appeared. One of them is for when I took the trade at the first one, 0.05. Now I got the 0.076 lot size, right? And the price in which I entered that market, which is identified right here too. If I come down here, it's showing me the entry price. So I got the asset. I created a sell, shows me my lot size when I entered the market, and it shows me the entry as well where the market is right now. If it's more, if it's green, it means it's in a plus, right? If it goes to downward, that means sell, right? I didn't create a stop loss or a take profit, even though I can go back and edit that trade to create it, right? If I move along, it shows me a section for fees. There is no swap fees. There is no commission fees. It's just straight profit. So whatever profit I make, right now it's at $4.80. The market is a little slow because of the time in which I'm in this particular market. It's really slow. Nothing is happening. And that's another thing that's going to be important. Each asset operates different according to each trading session. There are 4 separate trading sessions, really 3, but 4. One is London, one is New York, and then you have the Asian session, which is split into 2. You got that Sydney session, and then you got the Tokyo session, right? Which happens a little bit later. And the New York session is by far the most robust. More volatility is happening inside of that market, meaning there's more movers and shakers that are happening in that New York session time frame. And then next you got London, and then you got the Tokyo session, and then you got the Sydney session. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch up. What time is it? Let me see. Right now in the United States, it's 3:10 p.m. So yeah, it's not moving that much. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it to a different market shortly because I know this market is pretty much closed right now. But I mean, it's open, right? Because it says trading is open and available, but that market is nothing really happening in that market right now. So I am going to change the asset. But for right now, I'm gonna do a buy just to change it up. Order rejected. Nope, because the market is closed. Let me switch. That is closed on that side. Let me switch the asset. Actually, before I switch to asset, I want to show you some difference. So I'm going to switch it to my another trading account that I have. Remember, keep in mind the asset risk management. And let's go over to, let's go ahead and change it from here. And let's go to my $1,300 account. Same asset. I did one for 0.50. Remember, same asset for EURJPY, 0.50. I want you to see it's the same dollar amount. Before it was still $115.24, but it also now with a lower balance at a little bit over $1,300, now I was risking 8.75%. So I'm risking a lot more because I have less assets. And this is going to be important for you, because this teaches you that the more money you have in your account, the more you have to leverage, or the less you'll have to leverage, right? The goal is now, because this asset is, because it is so high, just because I can take this trade, don't mean I should. This market is not available for me to execute in, because guess what? It's closed, confirm, right? Oh, it's allowing me to do it here. Why didn't it allow me to do it before? I don't know why that happened, but now I'm in the buy. All right, now I'm in a buy and I got it going. Also, because remember before, because I executed a sale, right? Because I executed a sale, it was a red open triangle. If I close this trade, right? Come down here, select the X, confirm to close the trade. And now I got a red arrow because I closed in the negative. I closed in the negative. So it closed out right here. All right, but I'm going to choose a different asset. But also, so we did 0.76. Oh, sorry. 76 is what I did when I had my $17,000 account. Same dollar amount, $175.15. But again, the percentage. This is why percentage is important. Focus on how much money you're prepared to risk with regard to percentage, not so much the dollar amount. Right? I didn't say don't focus on the dollar amount, but not so much the dollar amount. I'm going to switch this off to a more volatile asset. We're going to switch this to gold real quick. I'm going to switch this to gold real quick. So that trade. Let's go to the market panel here. Let's go to XAU, USD. Double click on it. I'm on the gold. I'm going to hide that markets panel because I no longer need it. I can identify XAU USD, 5-minute time frame. It is metals. Right? And XAU USD, 5-minute time frame. Now, remember what I said, asset plus the balance plus the lot size gives you your risk management. I'm going to increase my lot size to 0.10. Just because I could, don't mean I should. It's only $84, $85, but it is 6.46% of the balance in my account. And like I said, I don't want to risk no more than 1 to 3%. Just because I could, don't mean I should. I'm going to take this trade for a buy, doing no analysis, and then I'm going to confirm that I'm going to buy for 0.10 lot size, XAU USD, market price, market execution, and I'm going to leave one click trading on, because I'm going to take another trade, confirming I'm taking that trade. And now I am off to the races. I'm off to the races, y'all. I'm off to the races. I'm going to do another one, right? Do another one. This time I'm going to put it to let's do 0.25. 0.25, just because I could, don't mean I should. But for training purposes, I am, right? So now I'm going to execute a buy. And keep in mind, the last one out I just took, the first one, remember that? Look at that open triangle, right? You'll see I got into the trade here. And I'm going to show you the difference between exiting and trading, and exiting and closing, excuse me. Let's go ahead and do a sell this time. We're going to do a sell. Now I went directly to trade. There was no confirmation box that appeared because I turned one-click trading on. Okay. Now I'm in a trade. One trade is going up. One trade is going down. One is for less risk. One is for more of a risk. Look on the chart right here. I got downward triangle. Downward triangle means I created a sale here. The upward triangle that's closed. Upward triangle. Give me 1 second here. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, so you can see that the market is moving. That this particular market for gold is moving right now. I'm going to close this particular trade right here. That's this last one that I took at 7.5. I'm gonna close that in a little bit, but also I want you to pay attention. Look at the risk. The risk changes, right? It's at about 21%, right? I'm gonna close this trade. And once I close it, one click trading is on, right? So it's on. Now that the trade is closed, now I got a green. Green tells me that what? Not only that it's closed up, right? It's hollow. It tells me that it closed and I made a profit on it, right? So I'm gonna close this other one in a second. But before that, I'm gonna come back and I want to show you an example of one-click trading, right? Being turned back on. I think I gotta go to settings. I think I go into settings, and there should be an option here for one-click trading. No, it's not there. The question mark. On the question mark. It's in here somewhere. One-click trading. Sometimes they move stuff around. Show Hakanashi. Bid and ask. Where is one-click trading? This thing looks a little different. Security. No. Chart panel. Notifications. Add an account. I didn't even cover that one. Yeah. Gotta find it. But I could turn one-click trading on. It should have been in here. They changed some things. God, Accord, Discord, feedback. What's new? Where is it? I'm gonna have to fish around for it, but I want to click that, put that one-click trading back on. Anyway, I'll come back to it. So you're able to get this account up and going. Let's go ahead and close this trade. All right. Trade's closed. And I closed in the negative. Right? Closed in a negative. So I made no money in this trade. Now I can come down here in the trade panel, go to close positions. Go to close positions. And in here, now I got the two trades that I took. One I made money in, one I didn't. Right? And there was no fee. They didn't charge me a fee, but I was able to get into that trade. Now I'm gonna go back to the other asset. Now I'm gonna switch off to another asset. So I'm at point. Remember, this is 0.25. Remember how much money, right? This is about 16.18% right now. Let's click back on here to the far left, and let's go back to that account again. And let's see, will it allow me to close? Oh, there's some movement in there. Allow me to close. Allow me to close. Close that trade. I'm gonna close that position like I did there. And that's weird. One-click trading used to be right there. It moved some stuff. Chart panel. Reload chart. Security. Data preference. Notifications. Help. Is that it? About us. Watch our videos. Legal. All that information is in here. I got to find out where they put it. They did make some changes. That one I could not find. I got to get that chart setting back. One-click trading. I'm going to turn it off. All right. What I wanted to do was change the asset, because remember what I said, it was like 0.25. If I take that trade, oh, I'm in the right asset. Sorry. Let's turn that off here. All right. Y'all enjoying this tutorial? Is it helpful? I know it's a lot of information. We're about an hour in already, so it's a lot of information. So go through it slow. There is one thing I did not cover for sure, that I'm going to double back on, because I definitely meant to bring that up in the beginning. But before I do that, I want to show you the value of risk management, right? Same dollar amount, $212.26. if I execute this trade, because I have a $17,000 balance in this account, but it's only, instead of 16, almost 17% at risk, it's only a 1.21% of the total balance of my account if I was to execute this trade right now. Let me go ahead and close this other trade. Matter of fact, before I close it the traditional way, right, I could come over here on the screen, right, and I should be showing me the asset itself. Oh, no, because I'm not on the right asset. Let me click back on EURJPY so I can go back to that asset, EURJPY. And as you see on the screen, let me slide that down. On the screen, it's showing me how low or the amount this asset, where it's at right now. I can either click into this box to edit open position so I can stay in the trade, close it. I can put in a stop loss, take profit, or I can just click the X and close out of it. Or come back over here and it gives me more options. I can share my position. I can share it out, right? As is. I can do a break even, right? This circle with the equal symbol, what that means is I set my break even when I go into profit. And if the market go back to that break even point, I'll just get out in profit, right? You don't want to do it and be in negative. So I don't want to set it right now, right? Or you can just partially close your trade, right? So this is a 0.50 lot size. Let's go ahead and drop it. Let's drop it just 5 pips, five points. I'm going to drop it 5 points. So 0.05. And so it's what should happen now, because I did this, it'll drop to 0.45, right? So close for, a loss, but you could also do it for profit too. I'm just doing it right now. And I see my lot size over here at 0.45. And I'll see that trade that just closed. And it closed. I only lost, $1.67. That's what a 0.05 cost me. Right. Sometimes strategically, you may want to stay in the trade a little bit longer. But if you're losing too much, you can just take a small piece. But if you feel so strongly about that trade, you can either leave it be or just get out a little bit to take some of that pressure off, right? Or even if you were in profit, maybe you'll take a little bit of profit, but stay in the trade, right? You're risking, you'll make less money, but at least you'll walk away with some profit, walk away and live in another trading day. Anyway, it's all about strategy, though. It's all about strategy. So I am going to exit out of this trade, right? I'm going to exit out of this trade for right now because I don't need it right now. So we did market execution. Let's take a look at creating a pending order real quick. And let's show you how to, during a market execution, to come back in here and edit the trade. So I'm going to drop this lot size a little bit and I'm definitely want to be in a different markets. Let's go over to go back to the gold market. So double click on that, back in gold. And we'll be done in about 5 more minutes. We'll be about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be done with this. Initial margin, I'm going to do 0.10, right? Do 0.10, all right, 0.10. So that tells me risk management is what? $84.79. But most importantly, it's only risking 0.48% of the total balance of my account. I am going to do a sell, right? I'm getting directly in that trade right now for a sell. And we're operating. It always starts off at a loss. Hopefully it'll go back another way, but I didn't do any, analysis or anything like that. Now, what I want to do is I'm in a trade, right? Sometimes you just want to get in that trade. You can always come back and modify it or edit it. So I'll come over to edit positions. I can either do that down here in the trade panel or where I see the asset on the screen where the market truly is. And I click into the box where you see the dollar amount and it says edit open positions, and it opens it up, right? Or again, like I said, click on here and the same box opens. Now in here, maybe I want to create a trailing stop loss. That means it'll trail my stop loss keeping me in profit. Of course, you set a trailing stop loss when you're in profit, right? Sorry, right now I'm in profit. Or I could put in my take profit. So for right now, I know I'm in a sell. So what? The market is going down. Right now, the market is telling me it's at $4,239 and umpteen cents, right? I'm not going to. So we just do 42.29 is going to be my take profit for sell going down. And where P&L is, that's a profit of $87.10. And then I want to set my stop loss for also, sorry, for take profit. That also is if I take this trade at this price. Matter of fact, let's go a little deeper. Let's do 19, right? That's a profit of $187.10, a balance percentage increase of 1%, 1.06% increase if there is a profit. Now I set my stop loss. Click into here for price. I'm set my stop loss for, let's see, right now, if I leave it be, the price is at 4238.97, and then my loss would be $12. So if this goes $12.06, it'll take me out of the trade if I choose that, and it's only 0.7%. But remember, like I said, right, I don't want to risk no more than what? 1 to 3%. What if I put this at just 1%? Now it's going to change and shift the amount, right? So if I take a loss at 1%, that's only $176.08, right? And it gives me my price automatically. This is another reason why I love TradeLocker. I'm going to confirm that this is what I want to do, right? So I'm going to leave this trade alone. I'm going to stay in this trade. Either it's going to make me a profit of $187.10, which is a 1.6% increase for the total balance that I have, or I'm going to take a loss for $179.07, which is about 1%. Now, it may be a little more or less, right? We're in profit right now, though, right? I can automatically get out of the trade if I wanted to. In profit, I can, as long as I'm in profit, I could set a trailing stop loss. So depending on your strategy, so I would highly suggest you practice, and risk management in your demo account. Don't do any of this stuff in your live account. First, always be in your regular demo account so that you can get a better understanding of the asset you're trading, the market, the time frame, and whatever your strategy may be, or whatever you're being taught, shown. Okay. Now, one more trade I'm going to create. This is for a pending order, right? So I'm going to come back in here, hit this little arrow. It's going to show me pending. I'm going to put a price in which I want to enter the market. So for right now, we're going to do, we see the market is at 42.37, and I'm just doing this for training, right? So today is at 42. I'm going to do 42.35. I want to enter. That's going to be my entry price, and I'm doing it for a sale. I'm doing creating a buy stop. Let's do, I want a price increase. My goal is to make 2% profit, and I'm willing to risk 1% in order to make that happen, right? You see how that did that? Just that simple. Just that simple. My goal is to make this percent of a goal, profit, and 1% of a loss. $176.80 for a loss, $353.60 for a profit. And as I adjust my lot size, as you can see down here, right? I know what this says. If I increase my lot size, watch what happens. So I did from 0.10. Watch what happened when I put it at 0.15. This should change. Let's go a sell stop. Right? Created a pending order. Oh, no, it's not going to change because I'm creating a pending order. It's a little different. There we go. But if I was in an actual trade, see? Now, what about that trade I was already in, right? What if I wanted to go back and re-edit it, right? What if I would have just did 3% here Excuse me. No, I did 2% here, willing to risk 1% in order to make that happen. Right? Changes the ball game, y'all. Changes the price amount I make, right? Because before that, right, discard it, bring it back up. Right now, if I leave it as is, in order to make 1.6%, I'm willing to lose 1%. But if I increased it, watch the dollar amount, y'all, 3% for 1% loss. What if I wanted to do 0.50 loss? There goes my dollar amount. So if I lose, the market goes down to $88.40, then it automatically takes me out the trade. Confirm. This is the change that I want to make. Now set it and forget it. Leave it alone. Now I'm done. So I showed you how to change and navigate in the market. I showed you how to create a pending order, market execution, how to edit your trade, the value of having a strategy, of exit strategy, how to you can utilize partial closes, completely close the trade, how to do a trailing stop loss. You could do a trailing stop loss. There is a phenomenal video tutorial that they have here. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and create that trade. I'm gonna create that trade. I'm gonna do a marketing, I'm gonna do a trailer. We're gonna put it again for another sell. We're gonna create another sell. We're in the active trade now for a sell, and I'm gonna put trailing stop loss on it. All right, and have everything set in here. Confirm, and it's going to trail my stop loss. I want you to pay attention to the screen because I do got a couple trades happening right now. Modified my trade. Let's go over here. Let me change my time frame a bit. Just this, and I'm going to move my order panel. No, yeah, move my order panel. I don't want to see that right now. I want to focus in on this right here. So I got my TP, right? This is the pending order that I created. This is the active trade that I'm in. And I want you to see this here. It should. There we go. So I got my stop loss for 1, right? For my pending order created. And I got the TSL for trailing stop loss. If I click on it for the trailing stop loss, I can go click on it, and now I can edit it if I want and leave it as is, right? Now as it trails, of course, before the beginning, it said what? $88 and something, 10 cents, I believe. Now it's 84. So it will trail until if the market pulls back to the particular area, then I'm out of that trade. So trailing stop loss is a great strategy. Breaking entry is a great strategy. Get in the habit of using it, playing with it. Last but not least, the last thing I want to share with you, whenever you want to add your account, I meant to cover this one in the very beginning, but I'm not going to go back to the beginning. If you click on, let's say you created your TradeLocker profile, but you see that your broker account hasn't been added yet. It will not add itself automatically. You got to select that. And then there's a plus symbol, right? There's a plus symbol that you can select right here where it says add an account. You click on add that, and then you come down to where it says connect broker prop firm. Click on connect broker prop firm, and then whatever, put in your email, put in your server name for your broker, whichever your broker is, and then whatever password they gave you. And then once you click on that, it'll take you to your account. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we covered a lot of valuable information shared. If you have any questions, definitely like, share, leave a comment. Definitely value your information. Again, my name is Dre, the Bread Talker. If this has been successful, please leave the information, and I look forward to sharing more information with you in the future. Talk to me. Perfect.